Okay, so I might end up throwing a child support party when my oldest son, Jocelyn, turns 18. The reason being is because, first of all, I just want to say this. I never had a problem paying child support, especially if it's going towards like my son, so he could be taken care of financially in some way, even if it wasn't much. When I first started paying child support, it was after he was 9 years old. That was the last time that I was able to claim him on my taxes. And what I did was I used that money towards a car, and I had an Acura at the time, and it was paid off and everything. Um, and that was the last time I was able to claim on my taxes. This year, 2024, is actually the first year out of 8.5 years I was able to file my taxes and get my taxes back. My mother has custody of my oldest son. She never gave me any part of that income tax that she was claiming for my son throughout all those years. At first I was a little upset about it because, like, I didn't ask her for a long time, but I was like, at least help me out just a little bit. Don't get me wrong, she has done a lot for me throughout the time, but me and my mother we had a verbal altercation, a falling out during COVID time, and she had put a restraining order on me, so I wasn't able to see my son. I sacrificed getting locked up to see him, and my sister had to call the cops on me, and I ended up getting arrested. So that is the reason why I can't go to my oldest son's high school graduation. I can't go to my first son's high school graduation because people in my family try to portray me as some deadbeat. They try to make it seem like I wasn't around. They try to make it seem like I didn't contribute financially. One of my cousins actually had the nerve to say to me that I should still pay my mother child support even if he turns 18 because that's my responsibility. So first of all, I took the responsibility of carrying him, and they also tried to make it seem like I was a bad mother because I was in the shelter. I was like, I had to do what I had to do in order to get into housing, and it did exactly that. He wasn't in there for that long, but I had to make certain sacrifices. But mind you, I was a teen mom. I had my son at 17. I did the best I could. I got kicked out the house with him when he was a baby, and I was homeless with him. So, but I ended up getting to a shelter and making ends meet, did what I had to do. So they tried to make it, I had a lot of anger for the fact that I was pushed out of my son's life purposely, and I couldn't play that motherly role to him. Lord only knows what the lies that my son was being told to him about me. So I had to shut a lot of things down. I told my cousin, first of all, my son, I started working legally at the age of 16. I was like, he's a young man. He has to learn how to be responsible at some point. I had to do the same thing. I have a baby now, and I don't want the same thing of people trying to interfere and jeopardize my life to take my second son away. When I had custody of my son, I had a 2-bedroom. Everything was included. I was working, and I had a car. My mother at the time, she has a house, but she didn't have no heat, water, or electricity, and they still gave custody to her. So I was a little upset with that. She tried to talk me into having me sign papers so she could adopt him. Then someone told me, no, don't do that because, if she does that, they'll give her a $30,000 check. So I was like, wow, that's Grammy. And she would say, oh, you won't have to pay child support no more, da da da. And then at the time when I had lost custody of him, I started working 3 other jobs. I was working full time in the morning at the nursing home as a dishwasher / dietary aide. And then I was working third shift at Walmart as a cashier full time. And then I was doing Lyft on the weekends. And then I had a side job taking care of this man with CPOD. So I always had money in my pocket. And when I was trying to buy things for my son, my mother wouldn't let me. But when I was in Virginia, I had spent over $800, and thankfully I shipped out his brand new Nikes and shoes, 2 pairs of like name brand shoes, and some clothes, like over $300 worth. That I got from Burlington, and this I forgot the name of the store, DTLR, something like that. In Virginia, it's like another Evelyn's. So I had bought these nice shoes, and I bought a matching pair. I ended up getting robbed. So all the stuff that I had bought for myself, I got robbed. But something told me ship my son's stuff out first, and I did. I didn't trust my boyfriend at the time, but if I would have known that I could have trusted him, I would have left my stuff at his place. But anyways, the police didn't do nothing about it, and even though in whatever. So I just had to eat that and learn from that. So it's unfortunate, but I just thank God I'm alive and that my son got his stuff. But my mother had, I sent her the receipts just in case the clothes didn't fit. She had took the clothes back, kept the shoes, and I guess spent the money on herself and bought him some bullshit toys. So I was kind of mad about that. First, she had told me, because in the beginning, like, even when I lost custody of him, I was still trying to be around. I was taking him out to the movies every Tuesday, because at the movie theaters, it was a discounted price, like, and I was taking him out to eat. I was spending quality time with him, and she was like, oh, I don't want you to take him out no more, so she interfered too much and pushed me out. So she's like, focus on yourself. So when I did that, when I realized I wasn't going to get him back, mind you, I tried to fight for him many times, go to court and everything, get him back. They would not let me. They were trying to say that I worked too much. I was like neglecting him. I was like, how? I want my son to have a good life. He was well groomed, well dressed, well taken care of, well fed, everything. I feel like the situation of me losing custody of my first son was over exaggerated. So now that DCF is involved because of that previous situation. Oh yeah, they even said that I neglected him because I missed his dentist appointment. First of all, I was a first time mom. I didn't know I had moved from one town to another town, and I forgot, to update his dentist appointment. So that's why I'm on the registry for neglect for not updating his dentist appointment. Because you don't know what you don't know. The way that I was raised was not the 100% best. So I may have made some mistakes here and there, but I shouldn't be ridiculed for it for the rest of my life when I know people personally that have done worse to their kids. And I know that I'm not a bad person. I tried the best I could. I relied a lot on my mother. I'm not saying she's a horrible person. I'm not saying she's a horrible mother. I'm just trying to set the record straight. So I'm not really 100% upset that DCF, aka CPS, is involved in my second son's life. Because mind you, my oldest son, he's about to be 18, and he's my first. He was my first pregnancy and everything, and now I have my second son. That's a big gap. So more mentally here. Because I had lost my mind, like, when I lost custody of my first son, because I felt like a part of me died. I felt like my apartment was empty. I didn't care about it. I even left my apartment, everything behind. I didn't care about nothing. I didn't care about my job. After I realized I wasn't going to get it back, I didn't care about myself. I felt like he got kidnapped. I felt like he died. And people say, oh, you should be happy that he's with your mom. I was like, I don't care. That's besides the point. People don't understand unless they are in that situation. So I was in the mental institution because I was like, this can't be real. So they try to make it seem like, oh, just think of it as a getaway. So DCF tried to use that against me and whatever. But people don't understand. They literally thought that I was on drugs. They were surprised that I wasn't. They couldn't find that one drug in my system. So I mentally checked out for many years. I just literally, I feel like 2 years before my son got here, was slowly but surely getting my mind right, getting my mind back after I accepted him, my oldest son, being taken away for what it was and what it isn't. So my family and other people try to make it, even including my sister, who was like a demon, try to make it seem like I was some deadbeat. I didn't contribute financially. So at the time, after I lost custody of him, before I went to Virginia and became homeless, I was, like I said, I was working a lot of jobs, pretty much 4 jobs. I almost died. Because I was trying to live a lifestyle that I always wanted. Not only for myself, but for my son. But my son used to be such a happy kid, and now he's just like different. But he was so like oh yeah, my mother tried to make it seem like I was a bad mom because I had my son pay I wash dishes, I was teaching him how to cook, how to bake. She was trying to make it seem like I was trying to make him be like my slave. No, I was trying to teach him how to be independent and be a responsible young man so he don't have to 100% rely on a woman. She didn't comprehend that, different generation, I guess. So my sister had called the cops on me when me and my mom got a verbal altercation. And I had a felony case pending at the time, so there's certain jobs I couldn't get. This is after I came back from Virginia. This is around COVID time. So the judge, he was a white judge at that. He understood. And he's like, and I was actually pregnant at the time. I ended up having a miscarriage. The judge understood, and he's like, I'm not even mad at you. He's like, I don't even feel like you deserve a felony. I didn't even know that domestic was a felony. I didn't put my hands on her. I didn't put my hands on my son, but for the fact that my son was a minor, he was 14 at the time, by law, they had to arrest me. And so my sister had called the cops on me after my mom had told my sister that I flipped that on her. So the cops even felt bad for arresting me, and they were actually pretty nice. They actually got me some really good McDonald's and stuff like that. They got me like what I wanted, everything. They treated me nice. So, I have another story about this other situation when I got locked up. So, like, we're gonna let you go and everything. He's like, but you have to go to court. He said, but we had to arrest you because it's like the law and whatever. So the judge, he's like, even my public defender, she was a nice Asian lady. Oh my goodness, like she is a beast. Like if she knows that you're trying to better yourself and you have good intentions, she will fight for you and represent for you and line things up. So they put me on supervision probation. Like, I'm put you on probation, but technically not on probation. He's like, I just want you to like really take care of yourself. He's like, I'm gonna drop these charges if you comply. And so I had to do IOP, PHP at this outpatient service at the hospital for therapy. And I learned a lot. I purposely engaged myself when I was present so I can learn coping tools and stuff like that to better myself and not, repeat the same patterns and mistakes. It's a work in progress. It's going to take time. I got to fix 35 years of my life. So, and I did, IOP, I believe, is 7 weeks long. You go from 9 to 5, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. And PHP, if I'm not mistaken, is 4 weeks long, and then you go from a shorter period of time. So, yeah, 5 days a week, that's a long time. So, and then after that, I did group therapy with women, focused on trauma. And then I did, they drug test me for over 2 years, and I passed every urine test and everything like that. Even the doctor the nurse that was prescribing me psychiatric medication, he was like, how do you do it? Like, I noticed that a lot of your urine is clean. I was like, honestly, I just don't like things controlling my mind. I feel like you can elevate in life having a sober mind. So the medication they have put me on is Abilify. Like, oh my goodness, I love it. It helps me focus and not have racing thoughts. Stuff like that. So, yes, I'm not 100% against psychiatric medicine. I'm actually trying to get on now. It's The nurse, he's fully booked for a while until May. So I have to wait. Anyways, so yeah, so I did that. Like I said before, like my go-to was smoking cigarettes. So I wouldn't have to go towards drugs. I'm trying to quit doing that. But one thing at a time. So, another thing. Okay, so I did group therapy, then I did individual therapy, and I did anger management. Plus, I did parenting classes within 2 years. Then I ended up getting my studio apartment at the time, and all this is before my second son was born. So, DCF seeing that stability and the changes that I was making to become a better person and stuff like that, and they could tell that I'm a good mom and I love my son. I'm not talking to any men right now. I don't want to, because I need to work on myself right now. And I don't want, my son's young and innocent, and I don't want just any man around him to cause confusion. I don't have no dating apps. I don't talk to any guys on the phone. I almost thought about it a few times, but I was like, nah, it's not even worth it. Because I don't want to. With my first son, I thought that I was doing the right thing by replacing his father, and I was only damaging myself and my son's perspective on women. So I just don't want to do that again with Prince. So if I have to be single until he's 18 and start dating, then that's what I'm gonna have to do. And I'm willing to do that. And when I say single, I mean 100% single, and don't have any relations with any man, any person. So I just want to do this to show people that women do pay child support too. No one believed me for the longest time. So I'm gonna show you this one first. At the time, I was paying $400 a month. When I was homeless in Virginia, my mother had told me to. She sent me with this lawyer that helped me get on disability. So I thank God for that, because me being on disability at the time helped me get to where I am right now. I was still working from time to time. Like I said, 2024 is the first year out of 8.5 years I was able to file my taxes. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to claim my second son, my baby boy, Prince, on my taxes this year because he was born in January and he wasn't born in December, the year that I worked. So I didn't get no extra taxes for him. But it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I got other things coming. So I try not to get discouraged, because I know that everything's going to be all right. So yeah. So, and it's funny because my cousin, she was trying to make it seem like I was lying about this and that and that and this, because my sister and my mother was like basically spreading false lies about me. And then my mother was trying to, I'm not trying to bash my mother, but I'm just trying to make a point here. And my mother was trying to make it seem like, okay, because I was paying $400 at a time because of my previous income before I got on disability. So when I got on disability, they were taking a lot. They were taking that $400 out of my disability check. So I had to fight to get it modified while I was in Virginia. It was hard for me to get back to Connecticut because I didn't have my ID or social security cards. I had to go through this whole process. It was crazy. So it took me 2 years to get back on my feet, just to get back. So my son's father, my first son's father, he was entitled to pay child support too. And the most he paid was like $1,000 total throughout my whole son's life. But at the time, the first time he made a payment, I got like $600. So what I did with that $600, I used it for a down payment on a car to get back to Norwich, and that's exactly what I did. I used it the right way because I need a car, to take care of myself and my son. The reason why he has to pay me child support because I had custody of him from when he was born until 9. So he's paying that. So I had to pay over $23,000 in child support because I'm paying back that cash assistance that I was collecting for when I had my son in the beginning, around the time that I was in the shelter, and then I ended up getting my apartment at 19. I can't remember. I think it was younger than that. I can't remember how old I was, but yeah, I think I was 18 when my mother kicked me out of the house. When I was either 17 or 18, 17 going on 18, and then by the time I was in the shelter, I believe for 6 months. So yeah, I was like 18 going on 19 by the time I got my first apartment. Okay. So, and I was collecting cash assistance at the time, and I was still looking for a job. I couldn't find a job where I was residing for over a year, and I was taking the bus, walking. I was doing whatever I had to do. I even was trying to go to college. I was trying to do the best I could, and unfortunately, a lot of people where I currently reside are racist and judgmental, and they will throw my application out. They wouldn't give me a chance, even if I had no record. Even if I had experience, they didn't care. So it's still hard for me to get a job in this current town. So when I got a letter in the mail, I don't remember putting an application for this place. When I ended up getting a letter in the mail, like, hey, you got approved for there's come for the interview to get this 2-bedroom apartment in another town. I was like, what? I don't remember doing this. So I was like, wow. So as soon as I did that, my whole life changed. I got a job just like that. They didn't discriminate against me because of the color of my skin and stuff like that. None of that. This is actual facts. A lot of things that I talk about, I wish it was a lie, but unfortunately it isn't. But maybe this will help motivate someone. So, yeah, so this is proof, okay? So at the time, I was, like I said, I was paying $400, so I had to get it modified to another amount. So my mother, to this day, was making it seem like $100 wasn't shit. When it got modified down, she was upset about that because it was going from $400 a month to $100. And the state was trying to make it seem like I wasn't paying anything. They took two of my stimulus checks, and they gave me one. And they took majority of all my income tax. So I had to do what I had to do, you know what I'm saying, to survive and whatever. And Social Security understood that. I'm actually one of those people that got to pay back an overpayment to them. Where is it? Oh, this is backwards. Okay. Gotta go start from the beginning here. I don't know why we said it like that. So, where is it at? Okay, so this is in the beginning, 2017. I think that's one of my income tax. That's one of my income tax. Where's the $400? Then they slowly but surely was getting up to the point where, see, I was paying $400 a month, $420 a month. 2019, that's around the time that I got approved for disability. I had to get a lawyer to prove that I suffered from childhood trauma. He said there's a lot of evidence and proof that I suffered from childhood trauma because I've been in therapy since the age of 3. So to this date, I paid $23,058. I owe nothing now. So, boom. Yeah, this is when I was working at Walmart at the time, and they were taking it out of my check and stuff like that. And then I was working at my other jobs. Oh yeah, and then around 2000, I believe 18 is when I was living in Virginia. So they were still taking out $400. I believe this is around the time I had it modified. 2009. Oh man, there's more. There's more. Oh wow. So yeah. This is probably, let me see, what's the date? It's probably one of my stimulus checks there. Another stimulus check here. Wow. I didn't even know that. Income tax probably to, hold on. Hey, let me see. I got one. So, I don't know what that is. But, yeah, this is what they were taking. Probably my income tax. Who knows? Yeah, I think it is. Oh, yeah, because I had filed my taxes late because I was like, they're gonna take it, so what's the point? But then I was thinking about it, like, if I just let them take it, I could pay off my child support quicker. So the last actually bit that I had paid, it was like close to $4,000. So that's why you see 700 here, 900, almost 1,000 there. See, it's some true shit. I can't make this up, even if I wanted to. So yeah, I'm gonna throw a child support party. There's my name. Okay. There's a date. And this right here, cross out the first part of my mom's name. It's my son. And this is like a documentation pretty much saying like, if as soon as he turns 18, they're gonna stop it, me paying if he graduates from high school. Yeah, I'm shutting all this down.